Today is April 15th, 2022. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Please rise for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to thank you all for coming. We have one citizen desiring to be heard. It's item 3 on our agenda. Mr. Downs, we have this item scheduled for on our agenda for item 10.
Okay.
If you'd like to wait and speak during that,
I'll wait.
that would be fine. Okay, thank you, sir. I'll call on you at that point. Item 4, consideration and possible action on minutes of April 4th, 2022.
I'll move that we approve as presented.
I'll second. Have a motion and a second on the minutes. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Mayor, man, thank you. Item 5, consideration and possible action on final plat of Oak Tree Landing in the northeast quarter of 2915 North 3 West.
Morning.
And gentlemen, if you'll look at the heading right here, they have covered the roads.
Whoa, put it up front.
I know.
Thank you.
Got that right this time.
You guys done good.
Well, with that being said, I'll make a motion to approve the plat.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the plat. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
This help with every sheet. You want this white coverage, is that signed as well?
Please.
Thanks, Money.
How many lots you got in there?
44.
41. Middle up.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to item 6, discussion with Terry Hickson regarding estimates for repairs and renovations of the county's 6-story building. Dylan had distributed the books that he provided us. I know you've had the chance to look over them. And Terry, if you'd like to go ahead and give us an update. One of the areas that I think we're waiting on maybe still was the elevator, this elevator.
Still waiting. I have talked to them again. I've talked to 4 different people. They say they're gonna pay attention
You
and
need to take these right over.
give us a budget
Right.
number.
I'm
No date. It took me a month to find somebody to talk to,
I imagine they're pretty busy.
but I am very comfortable with the number that I plugged in there.
Right.
It should be less than
Terry, if you, for the public's benefit, if you could go over each one of the areas that you looked at and what the estimated cost of each one and the total cost.
that. Okay, I can do that. I was going to, ask that these numbers that I'm providing with you, if you're getting ready to advertise, put it out, I would round it off to the nearest million and advertise that way rather than sharing the breakdown.
Yeah.
People have a tendency to use all of it and a little more. You can
Yeah.
show them that.
Right, understood.
What I put together here was an estimate for the 6-story building next door to restorate the brick outside, put a new roof on, a new elevator, new electrical switchgear, a new HVAC system with minimal plumbing. The electrical system is the main switchgear on the bottom floor that would go ahead and be distributed through all 6 floors at 400 amps per floor, which should be plenty of power for future tenant finishes. And it also hooks up the heating and air conditioning equipment. To remove approximately 300 windows and replace them. Also included a fire sprinkler system. At this time, we don't know what the water pressure is, so I used budget numbers to add a fire pump to get the pressure up, and a backup generator in case there's a power failure that the fire sprinkler system will continue to work. I also estimated contractor's fees, architect's fees, and engineer. There are several steel doors around the perimeter that I removed and replaced to basically look like it's an up and running building. I use the example of the old Guthrie hospital that was revamped, that it cleaned up real nice with all the cast stone and the brick and the new windows. It should look just like that.
So those are steel and glass doors, the double doors open.
Well, the front entrance, I estimated an aluminum storefront with a handicap automatic opener.
Okay.
I think there's only one other aluminum door on this southwest corner over here. The steel doors and frames go up the back that were somehow a fire exit. I don't understand it. There is a little balcony there, but I don't know where you go from there.
Okay.
You've got a stairwell for an evacuation, but bringing it up to code, you have to have 2 exits. The stairwell being one, but if the fire's between you and the stairwell, you're supposed to have another way to get out without the elevator. So that'll be a question for the state fire marshal. Is it grandfathered in? Are we okay because we're sprinkling the building?
Or do we have to build an exit out the back? Do we have to refurbish those
Yeah, I
ladders
don't
coming down?
think a ladder would work unless you had one of those that as you step on it, it goes down and it's a stairwell down. That would be pretty expensive to do something like that.
Right,
I did not include any of that.
right.
Lots of donuts are owed in here.
The only other thing I had in here was a budget number for a fire line from the street to the building, which would have to be probably a minimum of 6 inch. It would be better if it's an 8, you get that much more pressure, and that might eliminate the fire pump and the generator.
I talked to the city of Guthrie, and I was thinking it was, I can't remember what he told me, but it was a lot bigger than what we needed.
Bigger the better.
The water line. I thought he told me 8 or 10. I can't remember what he told me.
And that, hopefully, I don't know what kind of pressure they had on that big
Right,
line,
yeah.
but the bigger the better to get up 6
It was,
stories.
it was a big size line, though.
Okay, that's good.
Isn't this the tallest building in Guthrie for 6-story? Is there any other 6-story buildings in Guthrie?
Well, I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't know. But, yeah,
Well, the estimate I presented was kind of worst case.
yes, sir. Yeah, we appreciate that.
And I just think it'll get better. Basically came this morning to see if you all had any questions on what I did submit.
No, I think what you gave to us was encouraging. It's under our budget that we put together for this, which is very encouraging. And I appreciate the work you did for us. Would also like to encourage the board to maybe have you help us write the specs to get the engineer, architect, engineer, or who, that
Construction manager.
construction manager and architecture,
Okay.
engineering thing put together, so we can get the right person, the right company involved in this.
Okay,
Because what we don't need is, like you had described previously, an adversarial relationship between the architect and the engineering firm
and contractor,
and contractor, yes, sir,
yeah.
yeah.
The state did some building, they've done several buildings in Oklahoma City. I'm only familiar with a couple of them to where they advertised, and I would think that would be part of public record to try to find how they advertised for that and how they made their selection.
Okay,
If I can go online and try to find or make a few phone calls and find out how that actually worked. And, I'm sure that you all have adopted all state codes, so whatever the state of Oklahoma did.
I mean, have a line on that information.
okay, thank you. Yeah, we don't get a choice on state codes, it's kind of.
Yeah, it's shoved down your throat, so, anyway, whatever they did, you all can do.
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you, Terry. Any questions?
I do not.
Okay, if you do, just, Marvin knows how to find me. Be glad to keep helping.
Terry, thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
Thank you. I'll get you. All right. Item 7. Consideration of possible action on proposal of ZFI Engineering for providing, excuse me, evaluation of interior walls of the county 6-story building that may be demolished for renovations. Terry, you said you had talked with him and. they
He
were-
sent me an email asking for an update and specifically asked about 3D price.
Yeah, well,
I just told him, y'all were getting ready to meet and
okay.
I'd update him when I knew something.
So, I think we're about to know something. Our board is, we discussed it the other day a little bit, and I think the feeling of the board was that we really don't, we're really not interested in two of the three proposals, and we're only interested in them performing the evaluation of structural integrity if we remove walls. So which walls can we remove walls? If so, which ones, and that sort of stuff. I think that was proposal number 2 in there.
I remember it, yes.
Yeah.
And, should I convey that to him?
If you would, that would be.
I'd be happy to.
Okay.
I can just answer his email. but-
Right, and if you could copy me on it, I'll provide the information to our clerk and the board as well.
Okay,
And then we can talk about it at our next meeting, whether or not they're interested in doing just that, or, and if not, then we need to find another one that will.
correct, and I see no reason why he wouldn't
Right.
come and give his opinion, write his report.
Hopefully we wouldn't change the price because we excluded 2 of the 3 options again.
Not
Who knows?
normally.
Yeah,
Normally, that's the purpose of giving you
right,
options, is to pick one.
okay. But I think, gentlemen,
I do recall that, yes.
okay. So I think we're very interested in having them do the structural integrity evaluation for us.
For each floor of what walls can be removed
Yes, sir.
structurally.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And that proposal, that wasn't per floor, was it? That was for the building.
That should be,
Right, it was. Well, it should be.
every floor should be the same.
Right.
I just wanna make sure we're on the right page.
Yeah, and he commented that he was pretty sure we could take those out, but I know that 100 years ago, they didn't, structural wasn't that clay brick that's in there. I mean, that's not what's holding that building up.
So, Troy, do you remember that price?
And it's $3,900, and what they've stated is nothing by the floor. It just says evaluate some or all of the interior clay tile plaster walls are load bearing. Evaluate whether some or all of the interior clay tile and plaster walls may be removed as part of a renovation. Provide guidance on whether some or all of the interior clay tile and plaster walls are contributing to the lateral load resisting system of the building. Provide a written summary of any restrictions for demolishing any of the interior clay tiles. That's what they have for that task in $3,900.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
So do we need a motion on that?
I think so, sir.
I'll move that we approve, I believe it's option 2.
Option 2.
I'll second. Option 2. Have a motion and a second to approve option 2 of ZFI's engineering proposal. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. We will lay that to them, sir. And we'll put something in writing as well. And get that out. Okay, moving on, item 8, consideration and possible action on concerning countywide burn ban. Steve, you got the floor.
We don't meet the requirements to have one.
Too much rain?
Well, not just that, we're expecting rain coming this weekend, and then also one of the requirements is majority vote of the fire department. I did not get majority of the votes, so,
Have we switched back from severe to extreme again?
yeah, we're just in, part of it's in severe, so, we're coming down slowly, so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then no action on that.
No action on that one, yeah.
All right, thanks, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, item 9, consideration possible action on appointing a member to the Pre-Fair Board, District 1, to fill vacant seat for remaining term of Brookfield's, tabled from April 4th, 2002. This was tabled, I promised the board that I would get in touch with each of the members that had applied. And I did speak with both of them, and I'm ready to recommend that we appoint Ms. Davis to that post.
Was that a motion, Marvin?
That was.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. All right. Item 10, consideration of possible action concerning the Logan County Red Cross vaccination policy requirements for local volunteers. I have one citizen that would like to speak on this issue, and that's Mr. Charles Downs. Sir, the podium is yours.
Well, first I wanted to see if you had any questions, since I've been a volunteer with the Red Cross for approximately 3 years here. If you had any questions for me, otherwise I'll just go over a few things.
I think after you go over a few things, that makes first some thoughts and questions.
Okay. Like I said, I was a Red Cross volunteer here in Logan County for approximately 3 years. I lived in Guthrie for 3 years, approximately in Logan County for 17 years. And I joined the Red Cross after I had closed a couple of private businesses I had. And I wanted to do something with my time to volunteer for the community. And in that 3 years, I did have a leave of absence in 2020 for medical procedure, so I took a leave of absence from the Red Cross for about 6 months. At that time, I had thought about not coming back to the Red Cross, but one of the local leads here in Logan County, after talking with her, I decided to come back, and they were very flexible with what duties they were going to let me do because I was limited for a while. But during that time frame, we worked numerous fires, supporting local fire departments and affected families, providing drinks, snacks, and food to the firefighters and other first responders. We worked natural disasters, flooding, Logan County, Guthrie, Crescent, Twin Lakes, Kingfisher, where we set up shelters and provided food and everything. And we also distributed cleanup kits, especially here in Guthrie, for the people affected by the flooding. Some of my other duties that we did, I installed, along with the team, when I say I, we installed dozens of fire alarms here in Logan County, Crescent area, for homes that did not have fire alarms. And after my come back from leave of absence, I pretty much was in logistics, where I took care of the vehicles for the Red Cross here in town, making sure they were serviced, and were in proper running order, including their shelter trailer along with their vehicles. When the Red Cross came out, because they're a federally congressional charter organization, they were going to follow the president's mandates on vaccines. I had thought about resigning when those mandates first came out, and they kept moving the date as for the volunteers had to be vaccinated. The last one that forced me to put in my resignation was for January 2022. I sent a letter to the DPM, who is located in Tulsa, that it was my understanding that the Red Cross does not discriminate against those they serve. With the upcoming vaccine mandate followed by the Red Cross, effective for January 2022, I feel that the Red Cross will be discriminating against me and against those that help serve others. I believe that I'll be discriminated against because of my personal, medical, and religious beliefs and values. I've enjoyed my time as a volunteer, serving my Logan Kingfisher community and working with the local Red Cross volunteers. However, after much deliberation, this mandate compels me to resign from the Red Cross as a volunteer, effective December 31st, 2021. I felt that we had a really good team here in Logan County. We had approximately 12 volunteers. To my knowledge, there's only 3 volunteers left. The local leads were 2 ladies here, and they did a very good job keeping the volunteers informed. We had regular meetings monthly until the Red Cross stopped that. We were no longer allowed to have meetings in person. You could do Zoom meetings and stuff like that. Also, with the Red Cross mandates, we were not allowed to go into any Red Cross buildings unless we were vaccinated. And that also included vehicles. So I wasn't gonna drive my vehicle down roads to go support anybody. I thought if the Red Cross was gonna want me to go, I should be allowed to use their vehicles. So we were not allowed to use their buildings or their equipment to volunteer. And that forced me, among others, and I can't speak for everybody else, but that forced me to resign from the Red Cross.
Yep.
And if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Okay. Mark?
I guess, I mean, my first thought goes, is Red Cross not a private entity? I mean,
They have a federal charter through Congress. And by
So
that,
they
they
get
told
federal
us
law.
that they were mandated to go along with the president's executive orders.
yeah, I don't agree with it myself. I do appreciate your service. Thank you.
Out of the 12 that were there, and you said there's three left, so
3
Is
that I
that-
know of,
is that assuming that the other 9 resigned due to this policy, or this
Yes.
mandate?
I would believe so, yes. And some of those employees I know work for other companies who also had mandates. So not only did they resign from the Red Cross, they just resigned from the other companies also.
No, we talked earlier, and I don't have any questions. I appreciate your service, and
Thank you.
and thank you very much for coming and sharing your experiences with our board.
Yes, sir.
It's been very, very enlightening. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you.
Thank you.
May I comment?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so I talked to other Red Cross, directors across the state. Like, I talked to a guy in northwest Oklahoma that out of Blaine County, that handles the northwest area. He's having the same issues we are across his area. Like he said, Woods, Alfalfa County, where they have no volunteers. He said, it's 4-hour plus wait to get services up there sometimes. So it's not just our county that's, feeling the delay response and everything. It's going all over is what it sounds like. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Stephen. Gentlemen, with that, as I mentioned earlier, we drafted up a letter. I think Troy sent that out to everybody to look at. Have you all had a chance to read that?
I briefly looked at it.
Okay. If you'd like, I could attempt to read this into to the minutes. Okay. This is dated today's date, memorandum for Alice Townsend. She's the Regional Chief Executive Officer of the American Red Cross of Oklahoma. Subject is negative effects of Red Cross COVID-19 immunization policy on ability to attract local volunteers. We referenced her memo to the Logan County Board of Commissioners, subject information regarding American Red Cross vaccination policy, dated 3 April 2022, and we are going to attach that to this memorandum as we put it in our files. To continue, while the Red Cross may have previously presented a narrative of having a long-standing history of working together with elected officials and emergency management officials, it has become most evident that your deeds are not supported by your words. Because of the Red Cross policy requiring local county volunteers to either be vaccinated or wear a mask while in public, it caused a mass exodus in our county. The Red Cross never contacted our Board of Commissioners prior to implementing such an unprecedented policy. There are just a few of the most recent issues that our county first responders have had to deal with concerning significant delays in Red Cross services due to no longer having local county Red Cross volunteers. They have all quit. One of Logan County's residents suffered a total loss of their home to a fire on March 3rd, 2022. This person's living area was a complete loss and burnt to the ground. Our county emergency manager called the Red Cross only to be told there are currently no Logan County Red Cross volunteers. All of them have quit. Still, our resident remained in need of disaster relocation services to get the victim of the basic fire hygiene items along with clothing and temporary housing. In this case, the closest Red Cross volunteer had to come from Purcell. On March 5th, 2022, there was a large brush fire close to the township of Mulhall. Our county emergency manager contacted Red Cross, who in the past had provided foods and drinks for our firefighters and first responders. In this instance, since there are no local Red Cross County volunteers available, they were forced to wait over 2 hours on Red Cross volunteers to arrive from the Garfield County Enid area. We experienced another wildfire on April 19, 2022 near Pine and Charter Oak on the east side of I-35. Once again, our county emergency manager contacted Red Cross for assistance, only to be told there are no Logan County Red Cross volunteers. Again, our first responders were counting on previously furnished services such as meals and drinks for our first responders. Once again, they were told it would be a minimum of 2-hour wait because those services now must come from Enid, Garfield County area. Once learning of this delay, our fire department command on the scene canceled their request for Red Cross services due to the significant time wait. It has become apparent that we can no longer rely on Red Cross for emergency services and therefore must look elsewhere for assistance in a time of natural disaster or civil crisis. Your vaccination mask policy has stifled our ability to attract and keep local Red Cross volunteers. We have initiated talks with our county health department to see if they can assist in this most important service to our community. In closing, we would ask that your organization immediately revoke this unprecedented policy so we may begin the long and arduous process of recruiting new Red Cross volunteers to assist us in time of crisis. Signed by the Board of County Commissioners, State of Oklahoma.
So you need a motion to approve? Make a motion to approve the letter.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the letter. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. We will also copy, I had a copy on for the governor and the attorney general on that letter as well. Copy furnished too. Okay, thank you. Thanks, gentlemen. All right. Item 11, consideration and possible action on ingress-egress agreement with Casey Correll for repairing area fire breaks were made while firefighting wildfires.
We had the fires up in the Mulhall area and the fire department's called us out to help do
Right.
fire blocks, and they don't have the ability to get the dirt put back where it was, the smoothing fields back in.
Okay.
They asked us to assist them, so we ran it through the legal counsel, and we thought it would be okay if we done it through this fashion. So I'll move with approve.
I'll second. Have a motion and a second to approve the ingress-egress agreement. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Item 12, consideration of possible action on resolution accepting a $1,000 donation from Brian Poole of the District 3 for rock on Pine between State Highway 51 and County Road 60.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. All right, item 13. Consideration possible action on resolution appointing requisitioning officers for various accounts.
have one for health department, one for District 1, and one for the sheriff. These are all related to the ARPA accounts.
Yes. Excuse me. I move we approve the requisition and the officer appointments. Not pushing it. All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. All right. Item 14, consideration of possible action on resolution appointing receiving officers to various accounts.
Again, for the health department, for the general fund, for the ARPA part, the sheriff and District 1, all ARPA.
I'll move we approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve receiving officers. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Monty, you need to get Sarah to sign that. You volunteered her.
Let's not tell her to.
Okay. Okay, item 15, consideration and possible action on approving the following permanent road crossings for Oso Resources LLC. Cross County Road 70.7 miles west of Bryant, Cross County Road 70.5 miles west of Bryant.
Madam Secretary, I'll move that we approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the road crossings. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
I think they're gonna drill several wells in that area, so it'd be a good thing.
Yeah.
Was that a second?
Yeah, they're on my floodplain meeting today.
He's probably got royalty up there, ain't he?
Buzzing phone didn't come up, by the way.
No, I didn't hear noise. But if I'm accurate, we're at 3 dozen that are owed.
4.
Who asked you to get involved?
Keeping track of what happens in here is my job.
Oh, look at this. Okay. I see how it is. All right, item 16, discussion and possible action on consent agenda.
Yeah, we got payroll claims.
See, Kendra's been in trash cans earlier today.
Paul's on vacation this week, so.
He seemed happy about it too. Happy to be here.
Well,
Every day a holiday, a meal feast.
there you go. There's no place like county government.
I think that's true. So, it's you and my second favorite county clerk, came up on me and started scheming.
Yep, absolutely.
Good.
Listen, it wasn't just her, you know, there was a whole lot of county clerks down there.
You've heard of them, huh?
That's right.
You know, that's the only other county that is not a member of the CDC.
I'm in the room.
I'm so proud of them.
We got a lot of good information all over there.
I think it's interesting that ODOT no longer considers us a freight because we're not in a CED anymore. Have a conversation, I'll share later with the group. Remind me to ask at the appropriate time about the roof contract, how we're doing on that.
We've got to work it out, the same contract. It's all in process, you know.
I do. I do.
Blanket purchase order.
Well, you know,
Officer reports.
yeah, this is the real exciting part of what we do here, sign a whole bunch of stuff.
On that one, yeah. That will conclude the consent agenda.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second Cody's motion.
Have a motion and a second to approve consent agenda. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. 17, discussion and possible action on approving claims for payment for April 2022. Holy moly.
Yeah.
Sure, I got a day with myself.
A lot of sniffling around. Or they won't stop switching directions, north one day and south the other.
Time that's 10 o'clock, about right. We already made choices.
By the end of the first day, we had set that would be for like one day. But my kids wouldn't have it. Most of them are, I think scared dogs, most of them, some kind of gray Pyrenees mix. They can order the dogs.
Okay.
Who's gonna sign up?
What office is that?
Well, it's like, what is it?
I'll make a motion to approve the claims.
They're,
That has nothing to do with it. Fire chief will sign that.
West Side County?
Yeah.
For college?
Every time.
Don't just be.
so far,
Yeah, I'll second Holly's motion on the claims. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, item 18, discussion and possible action on purchase card payments for April. $5,826.31.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. And then, let me jump to the addendum for before we go to item 18 or 19. Consideration and possible action on proposal of CEC Engineering to conduct topographic survey for Bridge 183 in District 1. Gentlemen, this is the bridge that sits on Broadway, right before you get to Waterloo Road. It's there at the intersection of Simmons and Broadway. It's an old WPA bridge. It's been hit several times. Part of it's gone. The rail is gone. And we had asked CEC to look at that and to give us an idea of whether or not that could be replaced by one of those large pipes, the 10-footer. It came back that it could be, but Aaron Finley recommended that we do another survey there to make sure that there are no structures there that would be flooded by a 100-year rain, you know, if it happened. And so that's what this is about. He doesn't think there is, because the only place in that plain is that new home that has been built in there, and it's up on a hill. And it's on this last page here. Anyway, the cost for the survey is $8,900. I'll take that out of District 3's road fund if that's okay. And
Guess we can arm wrestle for it.
okay, I'll pay for it then.
That's between you.
I don't want to get hurt. Anyway, yeah, I'll put the bill on this $8,900 for the survey out of District 1's road funds. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I have this one flag for y'all to sign.
Yeah,
I'll move where approved.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the topographic survey. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. This will be a great help to widening that area through there. And getting rid of a bridge, you know, and replacing it with a pipe is great for us. Anywhere we can do that. We've done that 3 times so far in our district, and it's great when school buses can start going over what used to be restricted bridges and things like that.
May I, just triggered my mind.
Yes, ma'am.
The bridge analysis that CEC was contracted to do on the 30 bridges to be replaced with tank cars, I received the invoice for that, but have we received the report?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I just, in my staff.
Yeah, they sent us a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Right.
because I just want to make sure that.
That's where this came from, was
Okay.
once they gave us that report, and I saw the 100-year flood average and that sort of stuff, it said, Aaron wanted to talk about that bridge before we did that. That was the only one that we didn't.
I just want to make sure to process it for payment.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, with that,
Item 19.
yes, ma'am. With that, item 19, vote to enter executive session as identified below. Robert Dennis Prescott and Donna Prescott, husband and wife, versus Board of County Commissioners of Logan County, Oklahoma, et al. In the District Court of Logan County, case number CJ-2017-2002. Possible executive session for the purpose of confidential communication between the Board of County Commissioners of Logan County and its attorneys concerning the lawsuit previously referenced. Public disclosure of these confidential communications would seriously impair the ability of the board and its attorneys to properly process and defend this litigation. As such, the communication in this session are confidential. The authority is Title 25, Oklahoma Statute, Section 307B4. I'll enter
I'll move we go into executive session.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to go into executive session. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Just to, so everyone knows, the session's gonna be held in the meeting room across the street.
So,
We will return to this room when finished.
I don't have anything, just thank these guys for being patient with us, waiting on us.
all right, yeah, thank you guys very much.
Thank you also, and that's all I've got.
Okay, I've got one item that I need to go over with the board, will be on our next agenda, and that is, we will need to have a discussion on CIRB projects at our next meeting. I talked with Ms. Williams at ODOT, and she was very nice. And, but we need to get our 5-year CERT plan together. One of the last one that we sent in had, I think, it had one road project that was in 2 phases. There were 2 phases at Luther Road.
Yes.
Over there in your area, I-35 interchange. And then there was another one, I don't quite remember what that was. But she talks about a bridge that was on the CERB plan a couple of years back that fell off over in your area. And then the STBG funds that Mike appropriated for a CIRB project back when he was here. I don't have any problems with any of that. However, gentlemen, we do need to provide them with what our priorities are for CERB. We are one of 2 counties in the state now that are not a member of the CED, and Ms. Williams was very accommodating from that standpoint, and reassured me that they will entertain our CIRB requests and represent those in Region 4, so in ODOT Region 4. So I just wanted to make sure we all knew that was going to be on our next agenda, which would be what, the 29th?
Yes.
Board? Yeah. And with that, I think I'm going to ask that we consider item 23, consideration of possible action on adjournment.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen.